Detroit Lions wide receiver Jameson Williams has had quite the bizarre start to his career. He is someone who is a really hyped up prospect, and a lot of people thought was going to be an easy top 10 pick, an easy wide receiver number one. But coming off of an injury that hurt his draft stock a little, he still was drafted 11th overall, so there's still a lot of hope for him when he was drafted. But kind of the Lions knew you're not going to give us too much in 2022, which the Lions were kind of in the middle of a rebuild at this point. So it's like, okay, we're hopeful we can maybe make the playoffs, but we're okay with getting a guy who will help us at most in 2023. And Williams came in and didn't show a lot in 2022. In fact, he only had one catch that year, although that one catch was a 41-yard bomb, so, for a touchdown, so that helps. But still, he maybe showed some flashes, but entering year two, I think there's a lot more optimism. He's going to get a full training camp. He'll get time to work with these, players and integrate himself into the system. That was until he got suspended 6 weeks for gambling. So then he had that setback, but finally did come in. And again, the box score numbers are not going to be too optimistic. 354 yards, 2 touchdowns. Not what you're hoping for, even given the sample size. However, I did still think we saw a lot of flashes of really great stuff from Jameson Williams. There's some issues, and we'll talk about the issues, but I want to make a film study just discussing where is he at right now and what is his ceiling. Let's just get into it. First, let's start off with play like this, which is going to kind of show some good and some bad from Williams on this one. So first, the way to play is designed to work. It's going to be a zone coverage concept, and you see the route that he's running. It's a route that can certainly work, and I'm actually not even sure how much of this was by design and how much of this was just improvisation by Williams. Because you see that when his play begins, he goes, really shifty, cutting towards the offense's left. But again, I can't tell if this is just by design. He's supposed to get more over the middle, or if he just read this play and said, hey, quarterback's not looking at me right now, but there's a gap over the middle. I should run there instead. Either way, he cuts so smoothly. He gets wide open, and then he drops the football. And this was something I noticed with Williams is maybe it wasn't always just like straight up drops, but I felt like there were opportunities to make catches that he just didn't always make. It was a negative. So there's a positive and a negative there, right? Really good job getting yourself open, but also you got to finish and make the grab, because if you don't, then you haven't done much. But that's not to say there weren't some real flashes of great stuff from Jameson Williams. For example, this play where it's a cover 3 zone, so that's what Tampa Bay is in. The Lions are going to send 3 receivers towards the offense's right. And this is something that we have to mention kind of with every Lions player, is you have to mention Ben Johnson. And, really that he is kind of the nucleus of that entire offense. He is what everything runs through. And so for Williams, it's very much about how do you fit with this offense. And there certainly is things that he can do that Ben Johnson wants wide receivers to do. Like, for example, Williams' route on this one is that one. It's the deep shot down the field. And the reason why this can be so effective is usually a safety is going to end up covering you one-on-one. And with Williams' speed, that can be really beneficial. I'm going to switch over to this angle just because I think it showcases the play a little bit better, but watch what happens. Jared Goff takes the snap, and when this play begins, you're going to notice that right here, it's working as designed. There is now a safety who is trying to cover Williams one-on-one. So, okay, there's a window to make this throw because Williams got to his spot so quickly. The safety kind of, has to hurry over and try and, get into the play. And despite this being, really not a perfect throw, Williams is able to track it so well. He gets the grab and gets into the end zone for a touchdown on that play. And so getting these splash plays is really helpful and definitely something we saw flashes of from Williams, including in their biggest game of the season, the conference championship game against the 49ers. This is a very early play where it's going to be a flip back to Williams. He's going to be in motion behind the quarterback. And watch how when Goff eventually flips it to Williams, you see him move more up the middle. And right here, again, accelerates so fast, gets by all those players. That alone was really impressive with a herd of 49ers players right behind Williams. But then watch Williams accelerate past everyone, runs through the contact, and gets into the end zone for a touchdown. This is the stuff that when he was drafted number 11 overall, we thought he was going to be just consistently doing at the NFL level, and we do see it. So I do wonder, it's like, man, if there is this guy there, maybe you can get this out of him. I don't think it's out of the question this could happen. And again, you have to give credit to Ben Johnson for pulling off a play like this and making this work. It's really good stuff. One thing I do have to mention, though, that is, I don't know exactly who to put the blame on or if there should be a lot of blame, but it is something I did notice when watching Williams' film. This play. It's a one-on-one matchup on the outside. Goff takes the snap. He's going to look on the outside, and Williams is open on the outside. In fact, Williams did do a pretty decent job at getting open on the outside in these one-on-one situations, which is part of what I think the Lions wanted to do when they drafted him, because, yes, Ben Johnson is really good at scheming guys up to be open over the middle and things like that, but there are times when it's a 3rd down and 10, everyone knows a passing play is coming, you're not going to fool anyone with a play action, and you just need a receiver to win. Williams is winning here. But here's the issue. This throw is a touch too far, and Williams isn't able to make the grab. And this is something I noticed, is Goff and Williams didn't really seem to have great chemistry. And that is something I do wonder if potentially just giving them another year together with, having Williams actually be out there for the whole year, could that allow for the chemistry to fully build? It's totally possible, and certainly hopeful if you're a Detroit Lions fan that can happen. As a whole, it is kind of the thing with young players that I feel like when a young player has a bad rookie year, pretty much no one takes it that seriously. Bad rookie years happen all the time. You're not really expected to be great right away. But then if you have a bad second year, that's when people start to say, okay, I'm concerned about this player now. It's weird with Williams because his bad first year wasn't bad. It was expected. He missed most of the season due to an injury. Of course he wasn't going to light the world on fire. He wasn't going to be out there for most of the season. He wasn't going to be able to have a rookie training camp. That's super important. This year, even with the suspension, he still gets the rookie training camp and everything because you're able to, practice and stuff like that. The suspension starts once week 1 starts. So, I'm sure it still hurt, I would think, not being out there, not getting all those extra reps, especially when I'm kind of saying it looks like they need reps. And part of me wonders if this year, maybe in the preseason, you play Williams more than you really would just to try to get him more reps, get him more NFL ready. Although it's weird because you're trying to win a Super Bowl, right? So you want to make sure he's healthy by the end of the year. You don't want to wear him out throughout the course of it. So that's where things get a little bit tricky. But I guess, to answer the question I posed at the beginning of this video of how good is he and, what do we expect from Williams moving forward? The issue you kind of have right now is I don't know what to expect from Williams going forward. You're certainly hopeful he can have a big role in this offense, and I think that there is the upside there. I would not be shocked at all if Williams has 1,000 yards next year, right? I don't think anyone would be shocked if that happens. The question is just, I also have to say, I feel like I wouldn't be that shocked if he has another 400-yard season, just because that's what we've seen so far from him is again, not always being out there, whether it's with, injuries or with I don't think the gambling thing is going to happen again, but with the injuries, that is, a concern that is probably fair to have, but I don't know. There still is so much shiftiness of him. I think I'm just betting on him succeeding. I think he will probably have a better year than people are expecting him to have next year. I could be wrong about that, but I'm kind of bank that if I had to make a decision, that would be my decision. Is I would bet he'll end up being better than people think he will be, as opposed to worse. But it's not something I'm definitely is going to happen. So yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.